Turkey is Europe's third and the world's seventh ready-to-wear exporter. That means that Turkey is only behind after China and Bangladesh. Fast fashion brands, high fashion brands, you name it, all produce their products in Turkey. Yet, the monthly wages that Turkish garment workers get is only 340 euros. But low salaries are not the only problems. I have singled out at least 8 issues that Turkish garment workers experience. Let's have a look at the actual situation of the garment workers in Turkey and what are these issues. Hello everyone, this is Aser Sorbekova, your guide to understanding matters of sustainable development and fast fashion the legal way. So let's get it started. The textile industry in Turkey is a major economic engine, bringing in 17 billion US dollars in 2016. And it goes beyond fast fashion. High fashion brand retailers, including Hugo Boss, have their own factories in Turkey too. High quality garments can be made and shipped to Europe more quickly than from other manufacturing hubs. And workers, it appears they are treated much more fairly compared to countries like Bangladesh. Now, that may be true from one hand, but in reality, the situation in supplier countries like Turkey has become more controversial and more complicated. Like many other suppliers, the Turkish garment industry is fueled by a cheap and flexible workforce. And that's not the only factor, of course. The other two are, the second one is the short production cycles based on proximity to Europe, and the third one is favorable customs arrangements. And most importantly, it's the ability of the Turkish garment industry to produce high quality clothes at low cost. I mean, of course, it goes without saying that when you would buy a piece of cloth that is made in Turkey as opposed to made in China or Bangladesh, for example, you would automatically think that what is made in Turkey is of better quality, and it actually is true. But one thing we should keep in mind and remember is that a better quality of clothes does not translate into a better treatment of workers. Because it turns out that the Turkish garment industry has so many issues. And just before I said the controversial and complicated nature of the Turkish garment industry is what we can say about it. Specifically, when it comes to the situation of the garment industry in Turkey, to me personally, it appears that there are 8 issues. First, informal workers, which means workers can be and are undocumented, and it creates lots of problems as to their security and as to, for example, their ability to be able to be paid, because as they are undocumented, it creates lots of problems. They can be taken advantage of, and there are many issues. It's one of these problems that I have just mentioned, but there are others. So easy access for migrant workers, which can be a bad thing, especially in the RMG industry. It's also linked to the informal workers, the presence of many informal workers, which means that migrants can get lost and they can get taken advantage of, and etc. Migrant workers from foreign countries. The third one, child labor. Another one, low wages. Occupational safety and health is also endangered, undermined. Precarious conditions of work, such as difficult, stressful, abusive, and other persistent negative environment. Excessive overtime, which sometimes is unpaid. And the last one, Syrian refugee workers. The subject of Syrian refugee workers is very complicated, and I believe it will not fit into the format of this video. I will make a separate video about that. Stay tuned. I have just stated 8 issues that are, in my opinion, big problems in the garment industry of Turkey, and I have just described some of them. Now let's discuss a couple of examples regarding what are the situations, what is the actual situation when it comes to the occupational safety and health situation of garment workers in Turkey. Occupational safety and health is one of the most important pillars when it comes to the right to work. It is important because while you're working, it means that you must not be endangered. Your life must not be endangered, so must not be your health. However, unfortunately, the situation is that because many sectors are informal or semi-informal, some of them are, documented, and others, it turns out can exist without, being 100% formal, which is the case of the ready-made garment industry. It turns out that, this sector, not the sector, this important pillar of the right to work, occupational safety and health, is often taken for granted, is not paid attention to in most cases. And it turns out that the problem of the occupational safety and health issues is a common thing in Turkey, specifically, for example, when it comes to the denim exports, denim production, because Turkey is the third in the world when it comes to denim exports. Just to demonstrate what an occupational safety and health means, I have taken the example of denim production, the sandblasting of the denim to make it look like it's been worn, and to make it look more retro, so to say. So it turns out that this field of production causes the disease called silicosis. Silicosis is a disease that attacks lungs. According to the existing official reports, it turns out that 17 people died from silicosis, from denim sandblasting, and more than 100 people were being treated. So just to be clear, this is the official data, and you should just increase these numbers when it comes to the real situation, because often the official data or the official statistics are often as low as they can get. They do not always present the real picture. Now let's hear one example of one former Turkish worker who used to work in the denim industry, who was at the time of 15 years old, diagnosed with the silicosis. When I was 15 years old, I had to come to Istanbul as a child laborer from Bengal. I came because my family was struggling to make a living for us. I worked in a denim factory using sandblasting. The fact that the company provided lodging made it attractive. Years later, we learned that the work we did caused a fatal disease. I lost a friend to silicosis in 2005, and in 2007, I got diagnosed myself. This was a trauma for me. But one day, I decided I should take up the struggle against sandblasting. In 2008, I founded the Solidarity Committee of Sandblasting Laborers in Turkey. A very tragic and sad story of a former child worker who was not supposed to, in the first place, be admitted to this dangerous working environment, the dangerous industry. And here is another information on the silicosis disease. When in 2012, over 1,800 cases of garment workers with silicosis were registered only in Turkey. That is only registered. You have to know that this is, not the full picture. The full picture must be more and more, because not everybody ends up being discovered. Now this case, the silicosis case, of 1,800 reported diseased persons from silicosis, touches upon other issues such as migrant workers. It turns out there were workers from Georgia and Azerbaijan who were, who came to Turkey to make a living, to earn, and didn't happen for them. We all want these perfect jeans, right? We all want the jeans that look like worn out, bleached, stuff like that. That's my case. I didn't know that, this can lead to death and injuries. I was not aware of this, that the bleached effect can be obtained at this cost, at human cost. And now it makes me want to reconsider my, my look, my perspective at the jeans that I'm, for example, currently wearing. They have some bleached effect. I will make a video on the denim industry, specifically the occupational safety and health issues will be considered in it, so stay tuned. Now, this case involves the brand Zara. Anyone wants to hear about it? It involves a Turkish garment factory which was working with the brand Zara, and which sacked 140 staffers without any pay, and they were, being dragged on for months. What happened was that the factory, which made garments for apparel giants Zara, Mango, and Next, was shuttered suddenly in the summer of 2016. The owner disappeared, and as a result, 140 staff workers were owed 3 months of back wages and severance, and they'd been waiting a year and a half for all their money. And in the conclusion, I would like to bring your attention to the words of Mr. Abdul Halim Demir, who, as I mentioned before, in 2008 opened the Solidarity Committee of Sandblasting Laborers in Turkey, who also is the representative of Clean Clothes Campaign Turkey, the managerial representative of CCC in Turkey, who says that, who was asked the following question. So he was asked the question, which is, if I buy one pair of pants and wear them for 5 years, won't the number of workers decrease, hence decreasing employment in the textile industry? And he responds by saying that if you wear a pair of pants for 5 years and that worker receives decent pay, then the cycle becomes a lot more balanced by producing, say, 2,000 pairs of pants for 5 liras each, the Turkish liras, as opposed to 5,000 for one. The workers will get better pay and a better standard of living. I agree with him 100% because instead of just producing, let's say, 100 denims, which will end up being sold for 20 euros, 20 US dollars, 20 Swiss francs, for example, in shops like H&M, CNA, Primark, etc. These are just the ones that are coming into my mind. There are many more brands that are in the category of fast fashion, of course. Instead of producing these 100 denims, which will just last for a small portion of time, because first people will not want to keep this one because it's a low quality, and because they will say, okay, so I just spent $20 and I will I can afford myself many more jeans, so I'll end up buying another one for 20, the third one for 30, etc. And as a result, we are ending up with so many jeans that will be just not worn, and they will be just filling our lands, being used as landfills. So in order to avoid this, we could just produce better quality denims pants, clothes, etc., whose prices would be higher than what we are paying today. Because at the end of the day, it it can mean that we are actually spending the same money within like 3, 4, 5 pairs, and actually more. We are paying more, and then look at the worker situations. It's very bad. Very bad is not the word. It's suffering to look at the situation of workers' working environment, their salary. Instead of just paying them 340 euros, why not pay them 700, 800 per month? What I'm trying to say is that why not just produce one nice pair of jeans and make sure that it will last for years? And why not make sure that this pair of jeans will be produced not within one day, but I don't know, like 4 or 5 days a week of time? Why not make it like, I don't know, of a better quality? Handmade? No, because they're sewn in the machines, but in a way that it can reflect the real life, because the living wages are right here, and the earned wages are right here, and we have a huge gap. It's just impossible. What we're ending up doing is just, we are making the rich richer, the poor poor, and we are making the consumers buy more, and we are just wasting and dumping the environment with the textile waste. That's all for today. On videos on fast fashion and sustainable development, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and smash the like button. And join me every Sunday by 10 a.m. CT. Until then, take care and see you next time. Bye.